Hi everyone, this is Penny today, and I am here to wish you a Merry Christmas. Probably isn't the last time we're going to talk before Christmas, but I wanted to give you the chance to say Merry Christmas to you, your friends, everybody, and I have a couple of cutesy little Christmas gifty things that you can make. First of all, do you have a toddler in your home? Do you have a toddler that wets their pants? You can put one of those soakers that I taught you about last week. You can put one of those soakers right into their underwear. And look, if you do it right, hand sew it in first so you don't obstruct anything. If you do it right, the fly still works, right? For the boys, put high up front. For the girls, put it at a normal light. But all you need is a soaker. Measure the inside of their underwear where the seam goes up through the front to the back. Make it a little wider in the front for the boys, and just normal for the girls, just like you would a pad for yourself. Use that soaker method that I taught you about with the Ziploc bag and the iron and the parchment paper, and you get yourself a waterproof pair of underwear for your toddler. Okay, next is doggy blankets. Real quick trick about doggy blankets is they're just a piece of fabric. If you have a big dog, get a full yard of 60-inch wide fabric fleece. That's what fleece usually is, a 60, and that's a square, pretty much. Well, it's not quite a square, but it makes a big a 60 by 30-inch blanket, which if you fold the corner down like this and then cut around it, it becomes a square. So if you have a little dog, make a square. If you have a bigger dog, leave it as a rectangle. And if you have an even bigger dog, get a bigger piece of fleece. And I have a friend who's got a little dog called Ladybug. So she's getting something made out of this. But all you have to do is finish the edges, or if you're feeling extra special, you can make them a doggy bed. Now, a lot of us have our doggies that are trained to go into their kennels at night, right? So you just measure the floor. This is a 18 by 24 inch, so that's a small crate size. And I put a handle on the side so it's easy for our friend to grab it out of the dryer, or because she's got multiple dogs, so grab it out of the dryer, or just grab a handful of them all at the same time, or so she can hang it dry if she wants. And then I made like a pillow flap like you would on a sham, so she can turn it inside out, stuff it with a blanket if it's cold weather. Super fast. You fold it at the end. So here, create the flap area, or just do a regular like pillowcase edge with a generous hem. And then what I did was, and you don't have to do this, but what I did after I turned it inside out, so I started with it inside out, so the good stuff in the middle, like a peanut butter sandwich, and then I turned it right side out, and then after I ironed everything through, then I did a seam about a thumb's length from the edge. And what that does is it makes sure that if she does put a blanket inside there, the blanket doesn't shift all the way to the edges. And that way it'll keep the dog warmer longer. Little trick. Anyway, so yeah, and then I just attached a handle. You can do that while you're sewing or after you're sewing. This one is while, and I have a couple that I did after because they were so big I forgot about it. And so yeah, so you just do it according to crate size, and you can Google crate sizes, and you want the length and the width. Don't worry about the height. The length and the width of the crate, and that's the size that you need to make for every dog. So that's that. The last thing that I made as a gift for friends is I have lots of chicken friends, and so I made chicken aprons. Many of you may not know this, but roosters have very long leg claws. And a lot of times those aren't trimmed off. Those are left on the rooster for life. And the problem with that is that our little cutesy little hen friends, when the rooster and the hen are acting like married people, so you can get fertilized eggs, sometimes the hen gets hurt. So a lot of, especially small farm owners, will put aprons made out of all kinds of stuff on their hens. Well, my friend runs a rescue for roosters in California. Hashtag California hates roosters at Adopt a Cock Rooster Rescue on Facebook. Her name is Deborah Harper, and she has lots of chickens. Some of them are roosters, some of them are her own private hens, and the hens need aprons. So I made her one apron using just a simple little, made a triangle out of a bandana I picked up at the Dollar Tree, attached wingy elastics. They go around the wing, and as long as you use elastic, they can get them on the hen. And then this kind of covers their back parts. So when the rooster does his business, his claws aren't getting into her. That's a nice one. This one, you can get real creative with these. This one, I gave her little coattails down here, like a tuxedo, and then I put a cute little black bow that I made out of my black elastic on this one. So I thought, I know that she's got a couple really small, like Rhode Island Reds hens. One is my niece hen, and so I know she needs some smaller aprons, so that's for some of the smaller chicks. The basic one looks like this. Again, this is waterproof fabric, and the nice thing about that is that it's super strong. And so again, if you have an not aggressive, but if you have a rooster with longer claws, this might be good for that hen. So I just did a cute little simple stitch all the way around with my sewing machine. I attach elastics to both sides. I'm hoping the right position. I'm thinking this strap probably should have been more up here, but hey, you get the idea. So there's those ones. But look at this. You can get really super cute with these. Look, you can put some lace on them. You can now hold on. Wait till you see this. This is this is even cutesy for me. This one is for my little niece hen. I made a pleat in the top so it fits her back better. And then look at all the cuteness. Do you see that? It's adorable. And it's got the little strappies. But yeah, this is for Henny Penny. That's what we call her, Henny Penny. All right, and then, so anyway, so yeah, so you can do all of that. I had another one that I made all speciale, as we say in the biz. This one has strappies. It has chicken ribbon. It has lace at the bottom, trimmed with a chicken ribbon. I'm hoping this will fit Peeper McNugget. That's one of her hens. Anyway, so all of that goes on the hen for all your hen lovers. The next thing is chicken or cat hammocks. So what you do with a cat hammock is you get a piece of fleece, and then you either iron fusible webbing or just a random piece of scrap woven fabric. Doesn't matter what it is. You can be cutesy, you don't have to be cutesy, whatever. But all you do is you sew an 18-inch square to an 18-inch square, turn it inside out so the raw edges are on the inside when you're finished, close up the hole, and then you put a grommet, for those of you, see if I can find my grommets. Oh, I keep them in a Band-Aid container so they're easy to find. That's how come when you find old people stuff, they're in strange places. Okay, so So this is a grommet. You see these on your shower curtain? You know what I'm talking about? That goes through your fabric and makes like a little circle. People that make corsetry, they use them a lot. They have special machines put them on because they have to do so many. Don't worry about that. You just need 4 of them. They come in a kit with a little tool. This is the bottom. This is the top. The other way you could do this is just do a buttonhole on your machine. Just make sure it's really small, just small enough for string to go through. Like not string, but a decent sized piece of rope, whatever piece of rope you want to use. I just thought of also you could use some of that. Yeah, that decorative chain stuff like old lamps used to have. That would be kind of cute too. But anyway, you just put a grommet in every corner. And then into that corner, you put in a piece of decent size rope. And then a big old knot. Let it fray. It's supposed to look like that. You could also put a wooden bead there. That would be kind of cute. That would help the knot stay on the right side of the fabric, right? Okay, so you do that. And then you give it a little bit of a length. I would say probably 1 foot to 1.5 foot of length. Make a loop at the end. Or you could use, make a loop at the end. And then attach all 4 at the top with a carabiner. And then your cat lover can hang that darn thing anywhere he wants to. Or you could put a carabiner on each end. They could put it anywhere they want to, outside, inside, wherever, hang it, and then the cat has a nice little hammock to go into. My friend, again, the same friend, she has a cat named Burnhamo Ninja, and Burnhamo Ninja and one of his friends, Joey, who is this nice little orphan kitty that she literally nursed back to life in a little pouch like a Joey. That's why his name is Joey. They're getting those. So, those are all things. Now, you might be saying, well, what about my human people? Human people are easy. You can make them shopping bags. You know those reusable shopping bags? If you live in New York or anywhere on the Northeast, stores are eliminating plastic bags, and the paper ones you have to pay for now. And so make them a shopping bag. Even if they don't live up there, make them a shopping bag. Who doesn't like a shopping bag? I'll tell you, my favorite shopping bag was a medium size. So it was wider than it was taller, but it was bigger than a small bag. So it was bigger than like a small gift bag, but not as big as one of the ginormous grocery bags that you can take groceries home in, right? And you could put probably 3 of those plastic bag pouches into one of those big ones to bring them in from the car. Make one in the middle. It's the perfect size. You can use it for knitting, you can use it for crafts, you can use it for your kids' dirty clothes, you can use it for the beach, all of that. Anyway, so just do square, right? Handles. Hem around the top, then do the handles. If you want to be fancy, you take the corners. See if I can figure out a way that I can show you how to do that. You take the corners. All right, so let's say this is our bag, and we sewed up this side, right? You about 2 inches before you get to the bottom fold of the bag, you want to open the sides out, kind of fold it back like this, open your sides out, and then sew across there. And that makes the pleat in the bottom of your bag like your Ziploc bags have, right? Those of you who have those stand-up pleated bags, that's how that's made, is they go down the side with a sealant when they seal them, and then they open them up and then fold it back and then they sew across. That's how they do that. Well, they don't sew, but they, you get the idea. If you want to do the super fancy ones that look like they get from LL Bean, those are made out of canvas. Go to Joann Fabrics or whatever retailer you use and get, you're probably going to need 2 yards, because you need 1 yard just for the bag, the body of the bag. They have a very generous hem around the top. And because it's canvas, you have to finish all of the edges, which means you're doing zigzag right at the edge of the fabric, all the way down on both sides. Again, use a fold. If you want to reinforce the bottom, then just put a panel down there. See some really nice ones with vegan leather, what we used to call vinyl. Anyway, then you, instead of the straps just being at the top, they just wrap around the whole bag. That's the only difference. They're the same bags. So that's great. I'm super excited because I just recently found a vintage embroidery attachment, and I bought an embroidery machine off eBay. So I'll let you know how that goes. It's supposed to come this week. And so with those, you can actually put people's name on it or monogram it or whatever. The other thing you can always do is a cinch bag. Like those drawstring cinch bags, they're so stupidly easy. And so, again, get yourself a square, right? And then you're going to hem the top, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that hem is thick enough to accommodate a string. And then you figure out how long the string has to be for your particular person. Big, small, little, medium, whatever. You just cut you put a grommet in the corner of the bag, just like we did with the cat hammock, right? And then if you don't have grommets and you don't want to go to the store and use them, or you don't like them or whatever, again, buttonholes work with a wooden bead would be my preference. Or just tie them to the corner through the buttonhole, or you can just sew them to the corner. You could include them inside the seam. That would work too. But at the top, what you're going to do is you have to thread. So if you're on the right-hand side, you're going to thread from the right hand all the way around and back, 360, back to the original hole where you went into the hem. You're going to go all the way around and come out. Okay? And that end that comes out is one of the ends that you attach to the bottom of the bag. And you do the same thing on the left side. So you go open up the left side, hem a little bit so you can get in there, and you can use a large safety pin, or you can buy one of these things at your local sewing store. These are super easy because they're like slippery, but I've used large safety pins my whole life. Like the ones that are like this big, and you just slide the fabric along the safety pin until it gets through. Well, anyway, on the left-hand side, you do the same thing. You get into the seam, and you go all the way around, and then the end that comes out attaches to the bottom of the bag as well. So at that point, it should look pretty familiar. You go like this, you got your bag done. You could like iron on initials. You could make it Harry Potter. You could go buy a patch. If somebody's like kind of a deadhead kid, you can do that sort of thing, whatever. But those are some really great ideas for some Christmas gifts. Oh, my last one, that soaker idea, that really works great for reusable face washcloths too. Yeah. And in that one, you don't necessarily have to have the soaker part. You could just use a really soft piece of felt, or rather flannel, or something that feels really good in your hand. Just make little circles and like back them with another piece of fabric, a lighter, like maybe a knit or something like that, and just make them in like a set of 4 or 5, and just, facial cloths. All those ideas are great for Christmas. People love homemade gifts. I don't care who they are. Everybody loves the fact that you took the time to do it. You can make them special just for them, speciality, as I say. You can make things personal. You can make mug rugs. You could make mug cozies for coffee mugs. Just make it the size of the width of a regular cup that they typically use, and just put a button to secure it together at the end with a loop. Boom, you got a coffee cozy. All of those things work for great gifts. Everybody loves gifts, especially this time of year, especially with the economy being what it is. Do what you got to do, man. Have a great Christmas.